Hello! Welcome back to the channel. My name is Catherine Pao, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 of my favorite collage techniques that I come back to again and again and use the most in my own work. So I've been collaging for the better part of the last few years, and as you can see here, my style has evolved quite a bit from the early days when I just started to some of my more recent collages here that you can see in my art journal. These 5 techniques have been super helpful whenever I feel stuck or just want the creative process to feel a bit more easeful. So whether you are a beginner to collage or you've been doing it for many years, I hope that these techniques will give you some fresh inspiration for your own creative process. Let's get into it. Okay, so this first technique is all about putting down your scissors and ripping and tearing out paper with your bare hands. I love this because ripping is so not a precise activity, so it decreases any of my overthinking and perfectionistic tendencies, which is a huge bonus. Torn edges also feel more textured and more organic, more alive, whereas clean-cut edges can feel more graphic and bold. So it's great for showing contrast, or if you want your whole piece to feel super organic, the whole piece can be off from ripped paper. And I just personally love the sound of paper ripping. Ugh, it is so satisfying. So here's a few examples of collages where I've done my fair share of ripping and tearing. Alright, so this second technique is all about trying to create a piece that feels integrated and whole. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to repeat a shape in all different or similar sizes. So repetition is very pleasing for your eye and tells your brain that these things all belong together. So in a way, it's a sense of unifying. So if you ever feel like your collage looks like a bunch of disjointed and disconnected elements, you can bring these together through this repetition principle. As you can see here, my favorite shape is definitely a circle. And you'll see in this piece here how the repeating nature of this shape creates this sense of unity. And here are some more examples of pieces I've made that have leaned into repetition. If you're feeling inspired to start collaging yourself, I highly recommend grabbing my free collage starter pack with over 25 of my favorite curated images to get you started. Or you can also download my collage materials list in the description below for guidance on specific materials to use. Okay, so this third technique is something I've been enjoying quite a bit recently. So essentially, you're using leftover paper scraps from what you've already cut out. So instead of throwing away these paper scraps, there can often be a few gems in there that can be used to create interesting and unique compositions that you might not have otherwise tried to make. So here's an example of an art journal entry I made entirely with leftover scraps. And another piece I made where I layered in cutouts from the circles back into the piece to add even more interesting textures, rhythm, and visual interest. Okay, so continuing on with techniques that have an element of randomness to them, I love this technique of spiralizing a big shape. So basically you want to cut out a random shape from a texture you like, and then cut it into spirals of varying widths, and then chop that into smaller pieces as well, and integrate it into your piece. It's a fun way to add some dynamism, contrast, and a playful rhythm. Here's another warm-up piece I made where you can see the contrast from the watery, flowy element to the grounded, stable tree. Okay, so this final technique is great if you feel utterly paralyzed staring at a blank sheet of paper. So when this happens to me, I often find it can be very helpful to have a core central image on the collage, which can serve as an anchor and center of gravity. So this can be an image that is sparking your curiosity or holds some special meaning for you, or it could even be text, perhaps a particular mantra that you really like and want to live into. So oftentimes, after having a core image, my next step would then be asking myself, What colors would go with this? What shapes would go with this? What feelings or textures could I put down to help amplify the essence of the core image or text that I put there? Here are some examples of collages that I've made that have a core image starting point with some Daenerys Targaryen vibes I want to channel here, or a softer side of me with this woman playing the guitar, or my inner child wanting some attention, little Catherine vibes. So I hope you can try one of these techniques the next time you are collaging. Thanks for watching, and if you like this content, you can subscribe below to receive more creative rituals and content like this. Happy making, and I will see you in my next video.